our country and that of East Africa region, Madam Speaker. And therefore, we have a lot of confidence in what she's going to do. Part of the experts that we have graciously donated to this government. In fact, she's going to work under a CS who is also part of the experts that we gave them, my friend Honorable Beatrice School. And therefore, we know that with her support and that of the government of the day, led by our brother, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, she is going to create an enabling environment for East African community to trade with itself and do things right. And therefore, I support my sister, Honorable Karugu, in this office that she is yet to occupy. And I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. On my right, honorable members, I do not see interest on my right. So I'll go to the left, to the Honorable Millie Odhiambo, and to be the last.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, of course, do support the appointment of Honorable Caroline to this position. Madam Speaker, if you look at her CV, she's actually overqualified. Let me not say overqualified because it has a negative connotation. She is qualified for this position, and she responded very well when she was undergoing vetting. She's somebody that is personally known to me, and as Honorable Jared has said, we worked very well with her in Azimio. And consistency pays, and I want to encourage even those who are in politics that you need to learn that consistency pays. She was actually nominated from our side, and Madam Speaker, we can vouch for her that she's hardworking and she'll do very well. I just wanted to indicate, Madam Speaker, that indeed women support fellow women. I know earlier on my good brother, Honorable Junet, had indicated that women don't tend to support fellow women, but women do support their fellow women. In Suba North, I can tell you, I was supported by women for all the 3 terms. And I can also tell you that, Madam Speaker, you can see even now we are supporting Caroline, and even for the previous nominee, despite the challenges that she was facing, we have supported her. And Madam Speaker, also just to encourage members in the House to understand that gender is definitely a term that is used for both men and women. And where we deal with issues of gender, it means both men and women. It's just that when we talk about equality, then because of the way the country is situated, sometimes it's lopsided against women. Madam Speaker, I know she's going to this docket at a time that the country is facing a lot of challenges, and looking at the issue of trade, I'm sure because of her innovative mind, she will do a lot to help spruce up the country. I want to just note that Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, my former chair of budget, has raised very pertinent issues. One, by raising an alarm on what he has said, and I think I saw him also saying yesterday a ballooning debt, and also challenges in revenue raising as a country. And Madam Speaker, I'm sure as an excellent economist, he knows that one of the drivers of economic development is innovation. And I would have hoped that with Honorable brilliant mind, that he would have actually raised an innovative idea. This has nothing to do with both whether you are left or right, east or west. I think the challenge that the country is facing right now is a challenge of, just as you've said, ballooning debt and the issue of raising revenues without further taxing our citizenry. I wish, as Kenyans, we can think of innovative ways. As Millie Odhiambo, I have thought of a very basic way of doing that, which I'll be sharing shortly, as a layman. But as a layman, if I can think of a basic way, why can't you as an economist think of a more complex way that doesn't tax Kenyans, but raises revenue and then help us repay our debt? So my challenge is back to you. Why don't we think be more solution-oriented? Can you find a solution? I will put my proposal, however absurd it may sound, but I think it will raise revenue without taxing Kenyans. With those few remarks, and being harassed by the minority leader here, I do support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Honorable members, the Honorable Junet Mohammed rose on a point of order, asking the Speaker to call upon the mover to reply. And I would like to establish whether that is the mode of the House, whether I can go ahead and call the mover to reply. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it. Mover.
Thank you very much.
Proceed, Honorable Vice Chair.
Honorable Speaker, can you protect me from Honorable Soro and the rest? They are trying to dictate, and I don't know. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. And I just want to, I won't take much time. I want to appreciate the members who have spoken very well and interrogated the report that the committee has made, and appreciate them. However, I just want to make one clarification that Honorable Nyando has made, and this was presented in the committee during the vetting, that Dr. Caroline Wanjiru is not Her Excellency, is not, she doesn't hold an ambassadorial position. That was clarified in the committee, and she's just Dr. Caroline Wanjiru. So I think that in terms of ambassadorial positions, I just wanted to come clarification on that. Otherwise, I beg to reply.
Honorable members, for the convenience of the House, I will reschedule the question to be put to another sitting, as will be scheduled by the House Business Committee. Next order.
Order number 15, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Science, Research and Innovation.
The chairperson, Departmental Committee on Education, Honorable Meli, please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable. Madam Speaker, I rise to prosecute this motion, which we tabled yesterday. And Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Education in its report on the vetting of the nominee for the appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Science, Research and Innovation, laid on the table on day 15, April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(f), B, and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointment and Parliamentary Approval Act and Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the person as a Principal Secretary, Professor Shaukat Ali Abdurazak, State Department for Science, Research and Innovation. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 5 of Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act and Standing Order 45(1), His Excellency, the President communicated to this House the report or the name. And Honorable Speaker, while referring the matter to the committee, the Speaker directed the committees to undertake the vetting process, which we did, Honorable Speaker, through several sittings. Honorable Speaker, further directed by the Clerk of the National Assembly, we notified the nominee and the general public by placing advert in 2 newspapers of nationwide circulation and the parliamentary website of the time and place of holding the approval hearing by Thursday, 27th March. Honorable Speaker, in compliance with Article 118(b) of the Constitution and Section 6(4) of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act and Cap 7F, Clerk of the Assembly also placed an advertisement in the print media asking or informing the public of the nomination date, time, and place of approval hearing. He further invited the public to submit memoranda by way of written statements on oath, affidavit, on the suitability of, or otherwise of the nominee in conformity with Section 669 of Public Appointments Approval Act. Honorable Speaker, in line with that, by Thursday, there was actually no memoranda against the nominee. The clerk of the National Assembly also wrote to the Kenya Revenue Authority, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Directorate of Criminal Investigation, Higher Education Loans Board, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, the Commission for University Education, and relevant government agencies, seeking reference and background checks relating to the suitability of the nominee. All those government agencies returned a point of good, of no problem with the nominee. On the same note, the nominee was vetted on scheduled on Friday, 4th April 2025, on the key areas of qualification, experience, grasp of government policy, framework, administrative capacity, integrity, ethics, among other parameters, to the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7. On those particular areas, Honorable Speaker, the candidate showed a lot of knowledge, a lot of understanding, especially in the field of research, and he was actually almost an excellent candidate. The committee, having undertaken the extensive and thorough vetting of the nominee, recommended that the National Assembly approves the nomination of Professor Shaukat Ali Abdurazak for the appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Science, Research and Innovation. Honorable Speaker, the nominee showed that he was a distinguished scholar and a qualified professional with a lot of expertise in research, science, and technology. He holds a doctorate from Shimen University, Japan, Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Sciences and Master of Science in Applied, both from the University of Aberdeen, UK. He also holds a postgraduate diploma in Animal Nutrition at the University of Aberdeen, UK, and a diploma from Egerton University in Kenya. His foundational academic journey began at Aladina Visram High School in Mombasa, where he scored a straight, he passed his exams. Professor Shaukat indicated that he has a wealth of experience spanning over 3 decades in academia, public life, and international leadership. Currently, he serves as the director. I'll just finish. He serves as a director at the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, headquartered in Vienna, Austria. I'm not reading everything. You need to protect me, Madam Speaker, from the majority whip.
Order, Honorable.
Yes, majority
Majority
whip is
Order, Honorable
harassing me.
Soro.
Yes.
You may conclude, Chair.
Yes, I want to conclude. Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for protecting me. Professor Shaukat is a renowned scholar, Madam Speaker, and he's a person with a wealth of experience. He served as a deputy vice chancellor at Egerton University. He has been a research fellow, and he has worked extensively in the country. He's a founder CEO of Nacosti, and he's actually a man with a lot of wealth of experience. In fact, he indicated that given this particular position, and if this House approves him, he's actually having a very clear plan on how to develop research and development in this country, noting how much research can bring into this nation in terms of economy, in terms of creating jobs, in terms of saving this country from actually importing things which you would otherwise be able to do under what we call innovation. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that one of the things that we have really lacked as a country, and I want to talk to this House, and Professor Shaukat told us, is to really put research at 2% of the GDP, so that by the end of the day, we will have actually created a lot for our country. We will have actually developed our youth, and we will actually have developed our innovation centers. So, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, and I ask the member, Honorable Gisairo, to second. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead, the Honorable Gisairo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, you'll need to protect me from Honorable Farah, my leader, and Osoro, because they've started attacking me. Honorable Speaker. Yes.
Did you see that anyone is attacking you? I never noticed anything like that.
They have already told me what to do. They've told me to say I second and I sit
No,
down.
you are protected, and I did not notice.
Thank you, Honorable
you.
Speaker. I was just bringing it to your attention. Honorable Speaker, as the chair of the committee has said, after vetting Professor Shaukat, it is important for us to notice that, without research, we can never be a country that produces. Without research, we'll never be a country that innovates, and therefore starting to fix our issues production. And Honorable Shaukat, through his experience, proved to us that he's capable of taking leadership of the State Department that is new, and that has been put away from the universities, because the universities by themselves are already struggling, and we needed this State Department to be alone standing. And he has proved that he's capable, and with his experience, and with the support of this House in terms of financing and funding to that State Department, we should be able to move Kenya into the right direction of innovation and therefore be a producing country. And because of time, Honorable Speaker, I won't go far. I would like to second. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now propose the question. That taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Education in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary laid on the table of this House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Professor Abdul Razak Shaukat as Principal Secretary, State Department for Science, Research and Technology. The Honorable Junet, Minority Leader.
Then you reply. Madam Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Madam Speaker, this is a very, very important State Department. And I want to thank the executive for setting up this State Department of Innovation, Science, and Technology. Madam Speaker, what is happening in the world now is about innovation. It's about technological transfer. Madam Speaker, today when you are watching the news, President Trump has frozen $200 million, dollars for Harvard on innovation, Madam Speaker. It tells you how important that conversation is. Secondly, Madam Speaker, Professor Abdul Razak Shaukat is a known scholar in this country. He's a man of impeccable credentials, Madam Speaker. He has helped this country all his life. He has served this country under many capacities. He has given his life to public service, Madam Speaker, and there will have been no better person to be in charge of this State Department of Innovation, Science and Technology than Professor Abdul Razak Shaukat. Madam Speaker, with those few remarks, I support.
Thank you very much, Minority Leader. The Honorable Farah Maalim, 2 minutes.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I have known Dr. Abdul Razak for more than 3 decades. He has a powerful wealth of knowledge, and he's already at this stage serving in that unique position as the only African in the International Atomic Energy Agency. This is a man who is going to take research in many fields in this country to a higher level, a much higher level. I just hope, as my old friends have said here, that we need to dedicate not less than 2% of our GDP into research so that we can benefit from somebody like Professor Abdul Razak while he still has the energy and the mind and everything else. Madam Speaker, I support, and we should not waste a lot of more times on this thing. Somebody.
The Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what we call Silicon Valley today is actually out of a policy from the US called STEM around some few decades back, and also the proximity of Stanford University. Honorable Speaker, STEM as a policy gave the United States of America many immigrants who are very good and smart in those areas, Honorable Speaker, but also the availability of money, Honorable Speaker, from Wall Street gave them seed money to commercialize those ideas, Honorable Speaker. That goes on to show how much important research and development is, Honorable Speaker, for the growth of the country. But, Honorable Speaker, I challenge the nominee that in many developed economies, Honorable Speaker, the budgets for R&D actually comes from the private sector. And that is the reason why private sector should give given room to thrive. Honorable Speaker, if you look, for example, as the R&D budget, research and development budget, for a company like Amazon, one company, is bigger than the entire R&D budget for Germany as a country, Honorable Speaker. In the same US, if you take only 2 tech companies, their R&D budget is bigger than the physical R&D budget of the US. The last thing, Honorable Speaker, I want to say is that as a House, we must look at the size of government. This is a new department, Honorable Speaker, and I don't think, Honorable Speaker, the previous department ought to have been split. One person can handle our universities and this department as it has been before, because the actual roles are actually done by the sagas. We have universities on one side, but Honorable Speaker, in this department, we have NACOSTI, which actually does the duplication of what the PS would be doing. I submit.
The women rep for Mombasa County, please.
Asante sana
Summarize.
mheshimiwa. Asante sana mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi kama mama kaunti wa Mombasa, kwa vile Abdrazak anatoka Mombasa, nimefurahi sana kupewa nafasi hii kuweza kumpongeza Abdrazak Shaukat. Ni msomi mheshimiwa Spika. Huyu ambaye anachukua idara hii mheshimiwa Spika ni mtu mchapakazi, na ukiangalia katika historia yake sehemu tofauti ambazo amefanya kazi kwa jamii, ni mtu ambaye ni wa kujituma, ni mtu ana uweledi wa uongozi. Kwa hiyo mimi nachukua fursa hii kwa vile muda unasi, niweze kumpongeza ndugu yangu Abdrazak Shaukat, nimwambie shika kasi, fanya kazi na usaidie rais kuongoza ili taifa kwenda mbele. Asante sana mheshimiwa Spika.
The Honorable Baya, 2 minutes, please. What is out of order, Honorable Bashir? What is out of order, Honorable Bashir?
Honorable Speaker, looking at the mood of the House and the competency of Abdrazak Shaukat, I request the mover to be called to reply.
Honorable Baya, I know you really would have wanted to say very good things about Professor, but there is a request by the Honorable Bashir, which I would like to. Can I give you a minute?
Yes,
1 minute, one
yes.
minute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the person of Shaukat is what we need as a country to develop research. And when he was chairman of NACOSTI, he really stimulated research in universities. But then when he left, everything went down. We have the right person for the job. And this person comes from Kilifi and is Professor Shaukat. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable members, the Honorable Bashir Ross and called upon the Speaker to call upon the mover to reply. And I would like to find out whether it is the mood of the House that I call upon the mover to reply. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? As many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is, have it. Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I reply that the House approves.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, for convenience of the House, I defer putting of the question to a time as it will be scheduled by the House Business Committee. Next order.
Order number 16, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment of Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution.
The Honorable Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure. But I would like to take that again. The Chair, Departmental Committee on Regional Development. Please proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Now, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15 April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Mr. Michael Loikianu Lenasalon as Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution. Now, Honorable Speaker, now the Departmental Committee on Regional Development held approval hearing for Mr. Michael Lenasalon, nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution, as requested by His Excellency the President and communicated to the House by the Speaker on Wednesday, 26 March 2025. Now, the nominee appeared before the committee on Friday, 4th April 2025 for the approval hearing. The committee examined his suitability based on the criteria set out in Section 7 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act. In addition, the committee examined his academic credentials, relevant experience, knowledge of sector issues, leadership, and integrity. The committee paid due regard to the procedure used to arrive at the nominee through the report of the Public Service Commission on the recruitment exercise. The committee also considered any constitutional or statutory requirements relating to the office in question and suitability of the nominee for appointment proposed, having regard to whether the nominee's abilities, experience, and qualities meet the needs of the State Department. Honorable Speaker, having held the approval hearing of the nominee regarding the suitability, the committee observed that due process was followed in the recruitment process as provided for under Article 153(3)(b) of the Constitution and Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 7F.
Chair, please do not read the report. You can summarize.
Honorable Speaker, I am just coming to the end of this. And I want to say this, Honorable Speaker, that the nominee was cleared by KRA, tax compliance, help, and the payment of education, loans, EAC, and integrity, DCI on their criminal status, and ORPP on membership of political parties.
Move. You need to move.
Honorable Speaker, the committee therefore recommends that the National Assembly approves the appointment of Mr. Michael Loikianu Lena Salon to the position of Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution. Honorable Speaker, I therefore beg to move and request Honorable Abuor, the Vice Chair of this committee, to second.
Proceed, Honorable
Thank you,
Abuor.
Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. Proceed, Honorable Abuor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to second the motion. When the nominee appeared before the committee, he appeared very knowledgeable on issues to do with devolution. And I think he also has a requisite qualification, academic qualification for doing that job. On that basis, Madam Speaker, I beg to second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development in the report of the approval hearing of a nominee for the appointment of a principal secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Mr. Michael Loikianu Lena Salon as Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution. The Honorable Minority Leader.
Madam Speaker, you can hear. Madam Speaker, you can hear when you are reading that name. Members of Parliament here are shocked. They are wondering, how did somebody with that kind of name find himself on the floor of this House to be approved as a Principal Secretary? You can just hear, they are all shocked. Madam Speaker, finding a name of Lena Salon on this floor is not easy. But this is part of the implementation of the new Constitution, where we have to, and the broad-based system of government, where we have to take care of minorities, marginalized communities, people who have been left behind for years, people who never expected in their life that they can serve in these offices of high calling. women, PWDs. Madam Speaker, we have a beautiful constitution as a country. So, Mr. Speaker, today I am very proud legislature.
commend members who made comments and supported the committee's report. I therefore beg to reply. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. For the convenience of the House, the question to be put is deferred to another sitting as scheduled by the House Business Committee. Next order.
Order number 17, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment of Principal Secretary, State Department for Shipping and Maritime Affairs.
Thank you. The chairperson, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure. May I confirm whether you are doing it on behalf of the chairman?
Honorable Speaker, acting on behalf of the chairman, I beg to move that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure in its report on the approval hearing of the nominee for appointment of Principal Secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of Aden Abdi Miller as Principal Secretary, State Department for Shipping and Maritime. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of 155(3)(a) of the Constitution, Section 47(3) of the Public Service Commission Act, Cap 185, and Section 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, His Excellency the President submitted the name of Mr. Aden Abdi Miller as a nominee for appointment for the position of Principal Secretary, Shipping and Maritime Affairs. Honorable Speaker, Section 6(9) of the Public Appointments Committee Parliamentary Approval, Cap 57, the clerk invited the interested members of the public to submit any representation by written statements of oath affidavits with supporting documents on suitability of the nominee. The invitations were made via advertisement on the dailies on 3rd April 2025. Honorable Speaker, the notification was followed up with a letter to the nominee inviting him to attend the approval hearing, requesting him to submit completed questionnaire as directed by the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Article 118 of the Constitution, Section 6(3) of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval, and Order 45(3) of the National Assembly Standing Orders, the Clerk of the National Assembly, by way of advertisement, print media notice, notified the general public of the intention of the committee to conduct the approval hearing. The committee conducted the approval hearing on Friday, 4th of April, and in conducting the approval hearing, the committee observed as follows. The committee found, the committee observed as follows, that Miller started his career as a technician in Kenya Power. He also has been able to have extensive experience in different corporations, both within Kenya and outside Kenya. The nominee holds a master's and MBA from Mount Kenya University. The nominee portrayed considerable knowledge and understanding of the shipping and maritime sector. The committee exhibited exemplary knowledge of topical and administrative issues, technical issues touching on maritime sector, and has the requisite qualification and experience to serve as a Principal Secretary for Shipping and Maritime Affairs. The nominee meets the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution and has provided all the documentation necessary for approval as a Principal Secretary, the State Department of Shipping and Maritime Affairs. The committee, in conclusion, observed that the nominee has the experience, the knowledge, the qualification to be appointed to the position of the Principal Secretary, State Department for Shipping and Maritime Affairs, and showed great enthusiasm with great ideas to be able to harness the resources, both within the maritime for the betterment of the nation of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, based on the observation made by the committee therefore recommends to this House to approve the nomination of Mr. Aden Abdi Miller for the appointment as the Principal Secretary, State Department of Shipping and Maritime Affairs. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move. And I now request Honorable Hussein Waitan to second.
Honorable Ketan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I can confirm here as a member of Transport and Infrastructure Committee that the nominee displayed high level of professionalism and integrity and skills for maritime. And in fact, if implemented, the strategies that nominee has displayed, Kenya can go to the next level and have and attain the double-digit economic growth. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I beg to second.
I need to propose the question. Honorable members, I propose the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 15th April 2025, and pursuant to provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of Public Appointments, Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of Mr. Aden Abdi Miller as Principal Secretary, State Department for Shipping and Maritime Affairs. Minority Whip. I hear people shouting, I put the question, but the chance now is for the Minority Whip.
Mr. Speaker,
Minority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Transport Committee. Madam Speaker, if there is a committee that has done a thorough job this time on this vetting, is the Transport Committee, Madam Speaker. They have looked at every aspect of this matter. And Madam Speaker, you can see their report categorically says that the nominee has shown a lot of enthusiasm to do the job that he's being nominated for. Madam Speaker, the nominee is somebody known to me also, as I must declare that, is somebody who has distinguished career, he's a distinguished career civil servant. He has worked in the Kenya Power, he has worked in the NTSA, he has worked in many sectors, Madam Speaker. And more importantly, Madam Speaker, this vetting and this appointment this time, Madam Speaker, are God sent. Because this man comes also from one of the far-flung areas of the country, all at the border of Somalia, where the mother of Honorable Farah Malim stays, and the father stays, Madam Speaker. It's somewhere we cannot go. If we were to go today, me and you will need 5 days to reach there, Madam Speaker. And we will not even attempt to go there. It's only them who can go because they know how to navigate the situation there. Madam Speaker, the executive, the president, we must congratulate him. Identifying somebody from that kind of place, Dadaab, you know, some of the Kenyans here think that part of the country is part of Somalia.
Minority Whip. You have spoken very well about the candidate.
Yes.
However, in the morning, the Honorable Farah Malim told us that the mother was in his house.
No, but he has two homes. He has one there and one here. So you can't know which one the mother is staying. So you could be in that one, Madam Speaker.
You may proceed.
So Madam Speaker, you don't know which one he's staying. These are people who have 10 homes. Like Farah, he has 40 homes, Madam Speaker, as we speak. So anyway, Madam Speaker, this is a great man. This is a guy who's going to help the country. And I urge the House to approve, to support, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. I'll give a minute to the Honorable Farah.
Madam
Farah
Speaker, Maalim. Madam Speaker, I want
Honorable Mishi, order. You'll get a chance, Honorable
Madam
Mishi.
Speaker, I want to begin. I want to begin by thanking His Excellency, our President William Ruto, and His Excellency, the former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, for having seen. This is the first time my constituency, one of the biggest constituencies in terms of population in this country, has a PS in 10 years. We have bigger population than even the whole of Kilifi province, Kilifi County. Madam Speaker, I know the young man. Right from the days he was in here, JKUAT, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, doing a diploma course, top of his class. Then did a degree, first degree in electrical engineering. top of his class. And the man has got a master's now. He has an integrity of unmatched integrity. In one time, I remember he was working in a place with a very big salary, but because he was not being given enough, he was not doing enough for the people, he said, I don't deserve this salary. You never get somebody like that in this country today. You don't get somebody who says, I'm earning more than I deserve. I need to put in more into the organization. And he has been a career civil servant, and I appreciate very much, and I appreciate the House, and I say, let's support this. Thank you very much for members of parliament also for supporting me on this. And also for Junet, by the way, whose mother comes from our side, eh? I'm his uncle. He did not declare that interest. Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Mishi Mboko.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi pia naunga mkono hoja hii ya uteuzi wa kijana wetu Aden Abdi Mila, na niweze kumshukuru Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya pamoja na Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga kufikiria kabila ama jamii ambazo zimetengwa. Tuliona Fikirini kutoka kule Pwani, tuliona Profesa Shaukat kutoka Pwani, tumeona pia leo kijana wetu kutoka sehemu za Samburu, Michael, na sasa hivi tuko na kijana Abdi. Jamani, chenye sifa lazima kipewe sifa. Na naweza kusema ya kwamba mambo ya ubaharia na mambo ya bahari ni muhimu sana, hususa kwa watu wa Pwani. Najua kijana huyu kwa uzoefu wake wa elimu, kwa uzoefu wake wa kufanya kazi katika taasisi za umma na taasisi za kibinafsi, ataweza kusaidia hata mambo ya uvuvi katika kule Pwani, katika ziwa letu la Victoria, ataweza kusaidia mahali pakubwa sana. Na niweze kusema nimeona pia ni mtu ambaye amesaidia mambo ya jamii kwa kiwango kikubwa sana, na tajriba yake haswa ya elimu itamwezesha kuleta mageuzi katika sera na katika sheria zile ambazo zinatakana kupigwa msasa kuhakikisha mambo ya ubaharia na mambo ya bahari kwa jumla yataweza kuleta natija na yataweza kugeuza uchumi wa taifa hili letu la Kenya, haswa tukiona ya kwamba kilimo samawati ni kilimo ambacho serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, ama tunaweza kusema serikali ya mseto sasa, ambayo imechanganyika, imekipatia kipao mbele. Kwa hivyo mimi nasema kijana huyu anaweza na ana tajriba ya kuleta mageuzi ambayo yataleta natija katika mambo ya ubaharia. Naunga mkono Mheshimiwa Spika.
Asante. Mheshimiwa Abdi Kadir. 2 minutes, please.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving the opportunity. Madam Speaker, you know, I have known the nominee for about 30 years. We have been schoolmates. I was 1 year ahead of him in high school. One was in Jacko Art, I was in Nairobi University. Our history is intertwined. He's somebody of integrity. He has the experience, and he professionally is somebody who has worked through the system. He was working in Kenya Power Lighting, and he worked in NTSA for a long time. This is a nominee. If given the chance, I think he will do a very good job. He will do a thorough job in maritime and shipping affairs. With those remarks, I do support the nominee. Thank you.
Member for Kwanza, the honorable member for Kwanza.
Madam Speaker, I just wanted this opportunity that I know Abdi very well. When he was in TSA, I met him personally, and I think he's up to the task. I therefore want to ask this House to give him this opportunity so that he can be able to work. He's somebody I know, a boy of very good integrity. And I met him at the NTCA myself personally, and I find this guy very capable. Let's give him a chance, and if it's anything else, we'll direct him. I support.
Thank you. Honorable members, I hear voices that I call upon the mover to reply. I would like to find out that is it the mood of the House that I call upon the mover to reply? As many as have that opinion say aye. As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the discussions and the comments and the ideas that the House has had in discussing the approval of Aden Abdi Mila. And I reply.
Honorable members, for convenience of the House, I defer putting of the question to a time that it will be scheduled by the House Business Committee. Next order.
Order number 18, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment of Principal Secretary, State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications.
Honorable members, in the interest of time, I defer order number 18 to a time as it will be scheduled by the House Business Committee. There be no other business, honorable members. The time now being 12:58 p.m. This House is adjourned until today, Wednesday, the 16th of April at 2:30 p.m.
Sound Candy Talk Live News. You are watching Sound Candy Talk Live. At Sound Candy Talk, we provide live UHD broadcasting for church services, talk shows and podcasts, weddings, live band, products and services launches, webinars and trainings, Zoom meetings, conferences, seminars, exhibitions, and virtual concerts.
Welcome to Sound Candid Talk News Special Edition. Be sure to subscribe, share the video widely, and give it a thumbs up. God bless you. This is the story of Frank Okoth, a 19-year-old Kenyan whose life is nothing short of a miracle and an inspiration. A young man who, against all odds, survived 6 gunshots during the tragic June 26, 2024, Gen Z protests in Nairobi. Frank is an orphan, raised by his aging maternal grandmother after losing his mother at the tender age of 8. He never knew his father, a result of a teenage pregnancy, and life has dealt him blow after blow. Frank and his grandmother have faced unspeakable challenges, including surviving 2 devastating slum fires that claimed everything they owned. his late mother's documents, birth certificates, and school papers, leaving them with nothing to rebuild their lives.
Na sina hata shilingi moja. Niko na kitabu saa hii na nimeshaanga shilingi 100 ngapi. Kitabu iko hapa natembea naye.
Forced to drop out of school in Form 2 due to a lack of fees, Frank started doing manual jobs to provide for his grandmother. But on June 26, 2024, everything changed. During the protests, Frank joined other Kenyan youth to exercise their democratic rights, peacefully demonstrating against unemployment, rising living costs, and rampant corruption. But the unthinkable happened. Police opened fire on unarmed demonstrators, killing over 20, injuring many, and leaving others unaccounted for. Frank was among the victims, hit by 6 bullets, yet by God's grace, he survived. After a series of life-saving surgeries, Frank can now walk again. But the bullets left a lasting impact. He can no longer perform heavy-duty jobs to support his grandmother. In their iron sheet home, deep in the slum, is inaccessible by vehicles. In case of a medical emergency, help is far out of reach. To make matters worse, the slum is plagued by insecurity, with daily cases of muggings and robberies. Despite all these challenges, Frank dreams of finishing his education, learning a trade, and building a better life for his grandmother, the woman who has stood by him through every storm. This is where we need your help. In the short term, we aim to move Frank and his grandmother to a safer home where they can access medical care and live without constant fear. Long term, we want to support Frank in completing his education, learning a profitable skill, and starting a small business. I've faced so much, but I'm still standing. I want to work hard, take care of my grandmother, and make her proud. I just need a chance. You can be the change in Frank's life. Every contribution, big or small, will go a long way in helping this brave young man and his grandmother rebuild their lives. Let's come together and help Frank fulfill his God-given destiny. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share this video widely, and stay tuned for more inspiring stories on Sound Candid Talk. Send your donations to Sound Candid Talk Support Frank Okoth account. The link is in the description below. Together, we can make a difference.